Okay, so if you guys have any questions and you want to unmute yourself, we're happy to have participation, not just like a question at the end. But hi, everybody, I'm Rachel, and this is Melanie with us here today. Melanie, why don't you introduce yourself and tell the people who you are if they don't already know you.
Of course. Hi, guys. Thank you for coming into the room. I'm super excited to be here. My name is Mel. You can call me Mel. I own Melanie Levy Fitness, which is a fitness and wellness business here in Sacramento. And I help people realize their potential in fitness. And also I work with people on their mindset so that it's not just about the workouts, but really, is this fitting into your life? Is this making you happy? Is it bringing you joy, and truly understanding your why? So I'm a kettlebell coach, which is how Rachel and I connected. I'm sure we'll get into our connection. But yeah, here in Sacramento, I coach personal training, so I have one-on-one clients. I also have small group training, and I am an online coach, so I have online programs as well.
Yeah, so I was talking to Melanie back when we were in the planning process for Strong for Sam. I was telling her about some of the other stuff that I was doing with my business, including just doing more of these conversations with other coaches. Over the last couple of years, I've been able and lucky enough to talk to other coaches that are building their businesses, and everyone has like really cool different niches. Me and Melanie both kind of specialize in kettlebell training, but I'm sure there's a lot, there's probably a lot that's the same, but there's probably a lot that's different in how we work with people. So I was like, I want you to come on and do a coach's corner with me. What do you want to talk about? And I just told her kind of what are some other things that we had discussed. And she was like, I've really been doing a lot of mindset work with my clients. And I love that because while I do think mindset is woven into kind of how we approach our workouts and sometimes like pushing ourselves and sometimes not pushing ourselves, I definitely think that that's not something that I specialize in or I do a lot of work around. So we thought we'd hop on and I'd pick Melanie's brain a little bit about how you incorporate mindset work in with your clients and then how we can apply that to our own lives, specifically as it relates to like feeling stuck and getting into the right frame of mind to get out of a funk or remotivate yourself or just get out of like whatever funk you're kind of in. So one of the things that Melanie told me she does with her clients when she starts a group session is super cool. So maybe we just start there, Melanie, with like how you talk to your group clients when you start a session.
Yeah. So a couple things that I do that I feel set me apart from other trainers is I'm always going to ask all of my clients how their body's feeling and how their day was, and check in with them, because if someone had a stressful day at work, for example, or maybe they were in back-to-back meetings, it's really important for us as coaches to know that so that we can adjust the workout. And Rachel, I'm sure that you understand that. At the end of my workout, after we have completed our exercise and our movement, we all sit down and I play a little game. It's not a game, but it's an activity, and I call it What's Good. And we go around the circle. So we sit in a circle, and there's usually anywhere from like 3 to 5 people in my small groups. And you're there to share something good that happened that day. And what's been really interesting is making this a practice for everybody. I see them noticing these things throughout the day without talking about it with the group. So someone will come up to me and be like, hey, I was in a meeting today and I was getting really frustrated, and then I remembered just to breathe, and that like, I'm so lucky to have this job. Or, I was having a stressful day and my boss was harping on me, but then I remembered that I had this workout tonight. So a gratitude practice, which is essentially what this is, can feel a little daunting at first. Like if you're writing these things down and you're talking about them every day, but over time, as it becomes a habit, you're going to start doing it naturally. you're going to start noticing positive things naturally. So it's been really, really cool to have that activity, and such a great way to end the session. So everybody goes home, and my small groups are at night. So everybody goes home and everybody's relaxed and it's like come down from their exercise high, and they're ready to go home and be with their families and maybe eat some dinner and get a good sleep.
Yeah. So kind of like a verbal gratitude practice. And then those things that are happening, it starts to become like an automatic, like, oh yeah, I'm going to appreciate that for what it is in the moment. We did I don't know how much people did this last month. We did like a gratitude practice, or at least that was the idea, to write down 10 things that you're grateful for. And I usually just did it in the morning, but I usually do like 5 things, and I stretched it to 10. And it is like just a good exercise. It takes 2 minutes to kind of brain dump. And it could be something so simple as like, I appreciate my home gym, or I am grateful for like having healthy food to eat. I'm grateful that I can like snuggle my daughter at night, just like really basic things, but kind of sets you up for the day too, to, I don't know, just take stock of like all the positives that you have in your life. And we all have stressors and we all have like shit that sucks. But just starting the day with that like super simple brain dump of things that you're grateful for. And I'm like, am I at 10 yet? 6, 7, 8. Okay, couple more and we're good.
Yeah. And I think an important reminder for anybody that is curious about doing a gratitude practice like that in the morning specifically, or anytime, is I learned this from a book called Atomic Habits by James Cleary, and it's called habit stacking. And habit stacking is super cool because if you're trying to create a new habit, you want to stack that habit on top of something you already do. So for example, I have a client, and every night after dinner, she sits in the same chair and she drinks tea. And we've been talking about starting a gratitude practice and having her write down some things that happened that day that were positive, and, things that she's grateful for. And she's like, I keep forgetting to write in my journal. And I said, well, where is your journal? And she goes, oh, it's in my, it's on the bookshelf. I said, try this. Try putting your journal on that chair or next to that chair where you have tea every night. So essentially what you're doing is you're stacking one habit on top of another one. And then it won't be so hard. You sit and have tea. Oh, there's my journal. I'll write in it. And that's worked really well for her. And you could do that with anything. Like if you're wanting to look in the mirror in the morning and just say, you're beautiful and you're badass, or whatever activity you're trying to do that after you brush your teeth, because you're going to brush your teeth every day. Right. I have a book called Intelligent Change. I highly recommend it. It's a journal book. You have 3 lines every day where you write something that you're grateful for, then 3 lines, something that you're looking forward to that day, something that's going to make the day great, and then a mantra. And I have that book in the spot where I drink my coffee every morning. So now, because I used habit stacking as a practice, now it's automatic. I grab my coffee, I sit and I pick up the book, and I don't even think about it. So it's become a practice just as normal as brushing my teeth, just as normal as drinking your coffee in the morning. So hopefully that resonates with you guys and you're getting some ideas.
Yeah.
I know where I can stack that new habit. I know where I can put that. There's lots of creative ways to do it, and it doesn't have to be so complicated.
Exactly. If you're already doing something anyways, like might as well put another healthy habit with it.
Exactly.
So I've had this conversation with clients like quite a bit recently, which I just feel like we kind of ebb and flow as human beings that are a little bit more motivated at certain points of the year or your life, and then just kind of like dip in motivation at other times. Just life gets busy, or maybe the goal that you thought you really wanted doesn't seem as appealing anymore. How do you kind of tackle that beast of like lack of motivation, or just not even really knowing like where the motivation is supposed to come from? How do you help people like get over that, I don't know, lack of motivation hump? What would you suggest?
It really depends. There's a couple of ways that I suggest to my clients and also that I've tried myself. The first one is journaling. And I know journaling is like a buzzword now, like you should journal. My opinion was, what the hell am I supposed to journal about? Like you just put a book right in front of me, like what, I don't know what to write. And then I discovered there's journal prompts. You can literally Google journal prompts and you can find these websites that have 300 journal prompts. So I started to use those because what happens when you start writing is things come up as you write. Maybe you're writing about, you know, things that are stressing you out, and it's going to ebb and flow, and you're going to discover things about yourself. I actually wanted to share a couple of journal prompts that I use when I'm feeling unmotivated and I'm feeling stuck. And these kind of help me get out of that, because really what's happening, something else is happening. I'm like, yes, we're all stressed out. We all lose motivation, right? If we can't find the discipline we need to like do the projects or the tasks that we need to do, it happens, we're human, right? But if we can, instead of being judgmental to ourselves, if we can look at it through a place of curiosity, that stuff will come out when you journal. So if you guys want to write these down, I love these 2 journal prompts. The first one is, what steps are you taking to achieve your goals? The second one, you guys are ready, is write down 10 ways you can take better care of yourself. And Rachel, you mentioned when you were doing your gratitude practice, things you're grateful for. It doesn't have to be that complicated. It could be, you know what, I'm tired of buying this crappy coffee. I'm going to get some fancy coffee this week. It can be just something, you know, that's a way I can take better care of myself. You know, I'm going to buy the yummy creamer instead of the cheap creamer. I'm going to go for a drive today on my break because I need some fresh air. Writing down 10 ways you can take better care of yourself doesn't have to be complicated. It can be simple things. So, that's a really good tool when you're feeling depressed or stuck. Obviously there's a lot of actions. I actually, you guys, if you see me looking down, I wrote lots of notes because I tend to ramble and I don't want to go on too many tangents, but I have a lot of great stuff to share with you. Does anyone have any questions about that? Any comments? Please speak up if you'd like. Cool. Rachel, anything you want to add?
No, I was just gonna like give people a second if they do have a question to, you know, hit the unmute button and ask away, but no, I think I'm good.
Cool. So also you mentioned feeling stuck. And I know that feeling. I feel that a lot. And that can happen, like maybe you're doing too many things at the same time. Like you have so many things going on, or you feel this pressure to like conduct your life or your home life or your work life like a certain way, and it's sucking your energy away. Like everybody needs me all the time. And maybe that leaves you feeling uninspired, or maybe you're just bored and you're like, what am I doing? I want to share some ways that I feel like that helps me get unstuck out of those situations. I like to get organized, and that's a really broad term. So what I like to do, and you can do this the night before, or you can do it in the morning with your morning coffee or tea, and that's to try making a list at the start of your day of all the tasks that you have to do. Write down 10 things. 10 things is a lot. You're not going to get to all 10. If you do, you're awesome. But out of those 10 things, then write them again in order of importance, because there's going to be some things on there that you're like, this can wait. Right. And this is like priority 1. This has to get done today. Right. And then if you tackle those tasks one at a time, instead of trying to multitask and do everything at once, when you complete a task, that action of checking it off feels really good. That's going to make you feel super accomplished. You're going to feel so good about yourself. Okay. And then if you end up not completing all of your tasks, they're still going to be there tomorrow. They're not going anywhere, right? Those dishes in the sink, the laundry that hasn't been done, that room that needs to be cleaned, it will still be waiting for you tomorrow, no pressure, right? We put so much pressure on ourselves to do all these things at once. So just getting organized. I mentioned feeling pressured to conduct your work or home life in a certain way, and that feels like it's sucking your energy away. And this one's simple, and that is to be kind to yourself. I know it's hard when you're at work and you have back-to-back meetings, but schedule in a break. Even if it's 5 minutes on your calendar. I don't know if you guys use calendar blocking. I love when I put something on my calendar and I can change the color of it. So if I'm scheduling time to have a snack or lunch, or just time to walk my dog, I make it yellow because it's such a happy color. So when I see something yellow in my calendar, I'm like, yay, right? There's some joy around that psychologically. But take those breaks and schedule them in your calendar, and check them off. Treat those as just as important as your workout, as the meeting with your boss, as picking up your kids at school. It's just as important.
I love that. And it is crazy how you have to make time to eat. And I'm like, eating takes a long time. You need 30 minutes to throw something together, eat it, put it away.
Yep. I actually forgot to do that in my calendar yesterday. And I was just back to back to back. And then I was like, oh my gosh. So I just made myself a quick Nespresso and ran out the door. I'm like, what was I thinking? You have to schedule your lunch.
Yeah. Yeah. And breakfast sometimes too, when you're a trainer. When was the last time that you felt like you were in a mindset funk, when you were just like, oh my God, everything's terrible? And was it for 5 seconds? Was it for 5 days? How do you get yourself out of feeling some type of way? Or does it happen to you?
Oh yeah, it happens all the time. In fact, it happened to me about a week and a half ago. I just finished some travel in Portugal, and I had a wonderful time. I stepped away from work for a couple weeks, and I felt really good about that. I felt good about my communication with all my clients, and I felt good hey, this is why I work, because I love to travel. Well, I came home, and not only did I have jet lag, but I was tired from the experience. And what happened was I got really down on myself. I was like, I don't remember how to do any of this. How am I going to get clients? My clients haven't heard from me in a week. Are they mad at me? What are they doing? Did they work out while I was gone? Did I not set them up for success? Wait, I own my business. Do I remember how to do this? And I got so in my head about this, when my truth was that I was jet lagged and I was tired, because I didn't forget all this stuff. So ultimately what I did was I was kind to myself. I came back to my gratitude practice in the morning, and that felt familiar. I reached out to some of my clients, and they were like, we're so glad you're back. I started doing some programming and jumping back in. I didn't forget how to do my job. I was tired. I was stressed out. I just traveled for 20 hours. So being kind to yourself in these moments and not judging yourself in these moments. Again, I mentioned this before, when you're in a funk and you're feeling bad about yourself and you're stressed out and feeling unmotivated, don't look at it with judgment. Something is wrong with me. I must not be good at this. I'm going to be a failure. Instead, rise above that and look at it with curiosity. Why am I feeling so stressed out? I wonder why I'm feeling this way. And then write down 10 things that you're looking forward to this week. Ground yourself in writing things down and journaling and looking at yourself through more curious eyes versus judgmental. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it does. And I think that, our basic human needs of sleeping and eating and making sure that we're, you know, putting healthy food into our body, where we are in our cycle, like all of those things can definitely, I guess, play tricks on you, or can just put you into a more negative mindset versus like a positive mindset. And so just like you said, having the curiosity, or like, you know, the scientist brain of like, I wonder why I'm like this. And your thoughts aren't necessarily true. Like, just because you're having a thought of like, do I even know how to do this anymore? And are my clients mad at me because they haven't heard from me? Are they gonna quit? Like, just because you're thinking that doesn't make it so. And remembering that every thought isn't the truth. It's just a thought that's swirling in your head.
Yeah,
And
and can we talk about that for a second? Because I'm just looking at the time. This is so damn important. And that is, our mind is so powerful. I don't think that we realize how powerful our mind is. And our mind is programmed to go to like worst case scenario every single time. It goes to that place every single time. And some of our minds are programmed because of past trauma, or, you know, things that happened when we were growing up. But it is possible to reprogram your brain. I'll tell a quick story. I had a doctor's appointment this morning, and I haven't been to Kaiser in a very long time. The pandemic happened. I didn't go during that time. They've been calling me, you got to come in. And I have major anxiety around going to the doctor. I think worst case scenario, again, fight or flight. I got to get out of there. It stresses me out. I think I'm going to go in there and everyone's going to be very cold and not welcoming, and I'm going to be rushed in and rushed out, and it's going to be very uncomfortable. And what I learned this morning was there was so much kindness in that office, because the nurse saw me. She goes, your blood pressure is really high. What's going on? I said, I'm really stressed out. I don't like being here. I have some past trauma with Kaiser. And as soon as I walked in, I got really nervous. She says, do you want a hug? And I paused, because I could feel the tears coming. I was like, I looked at her, I said, I'm going to cry, and yes. And she gave me the kindest, most loving hug. And what I learned from this experience is that in my mind, I told myself this was going to be a bad experience. What do I know about a bad experience? That this is a new experience, right? So because of this experience, now I can change my mind. When I go there, I'm going to have a great experience. The lady at the check-in counter is going to be very kind to me. She's going to ask me some questions. I'm going to sit down. The area is nice and clean. There's an outdoor patio. It's beautiful. And then I'm going to meet the nurse. She's going to be very caring and sweet and patient. Everybody's going to listen to me. You know, I'm going to feel heard, and I'm going to get the answers. You know, I'm going to get the questions answered that I need. So changing your mind about a past situation that's been frankly pretty crappy is possible. And I'll let you guys in the room maybe write down or journal about that if you like. You know, write down something that's coming up that stresses you out, and try and understand why, and rewrite that story, because you have the power to rewrite that story. Is there a holiday? Like a lot of people, you know, Thanksgiving is a very stressful holiday. Rewrite your story. I always start a workout program and I never succeed. Rewrite that story, because if you tell yourself you never succeed, you won't.
love it. Do you guys have any questions? Andrea, Brooke, Kayla? Questions, thoughts?
I'm okay. Oh,
Thanks.
not okay. I'm sounding like crap after travel, but I'm okay.
Kayla.
Are you home now?
Yes, I'm back from the States. So I did
I'll
the
see you
reverse of your travel,
tomorrow.
Mel. Yes, you will. I will probably be falling apart, but I will be there.
The first workout back is always the worst. Well, it gets better. It gets better. Melanie, I know you have something coming up in Sacramento, right? Like a park workout?
Yeah, so every other month we do an event. It's called Sunshine and Sweat. It's at McKinley Park. It's free. And this month it's on June 17th. So Saturday, June 17th at 9:30 a.m. And it's our Sunshine and Sweat with a workout. So I have a former King's dancer coming to teach us how to twerk. And
Oh, a twerk out workout.
I know you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we
So
do.
we are super excited. This is strictly for beginners. Like we have no expectation that people are going to come in with like all this dance experience. I certainly will not. But the goal is just to have fun. You know, we're going to listen to music. We're going to dance. We're going to listen to music. We're going to learn some stuff. So it will be a warm up. It will be my workout. And then Becca Brenning is going to come in and teach us how to twerk. And what's cool about this event is it's a free community event. So if you're new to the community and are looking to connect with other like-minded individuals that are into fitness, this is a great event. If you're just wanting to get some movement in before a crazy weekend, it's Father's Day weekend, maybe you have a lot going on, this is a great way to kick off your weekend. Or if you're just looking to connect with other folks in Sacramento, and you want to do something fun and different, this is a great event for you. So we're looking forward to this one. We've been doing this for now a year and a half, and it's growing, and it's a good time, and it allows us to get outside and move our bodies.
Where do people get more information if they want to learn more? Is your Instagram page a good place?
So it's on my Instagram. It's also on if you go to my website, which is melanielevyfitness.com, and I can drop that in the chat. If you go to my website, you can sign up on the front page, and it's going to take you to an Eventbrite. And you can sign up, and it's free to sign up. We are capping it, so we will have a capacity just because if we have too many people, we can't connect. We want to connect with you guys when we're doing a workout. We want to connect. We don't want it to be so big that you just feel like a small fish in a big pond. Is that the right analogy? We want to be able to connect with you. That's always been really important to me. So go to my website, melanielevyfitness.com. I'm also at Melanie Levy Fitness on Instagram. You can send me a DM there if you have any questions. And also if you want to sign up, you can hit me on Instagram and I can help you with that. Brooke, great information, no questions. Thank you, Brooke.
Love
She's
it.
on mute lockdown.
I think my takeaways are to journal a little bit more about just like brain dumping what's going on and get a little bit more inquisitive about why your thoughts are the way that they are. And I honestly hate the word like be gentle with yourself because it sounds so like woo-woo, but just not be mean to yourself, but just acknowledge that like shit's a little bit weird right now and we're going to get through it. And what's on the other side, like kind of we have to go through it, and what's on the other side is going to be okay.
We have to lead with love in everything we do. If at the grocery store, when the lady in front of you is writing a check and she's taking forever, lead with love. Don't get frustrated.
Not like punch her in the butt cheek and get her going.
As much as you want to. It's not, I feel it, you're getting fired up. Yeah, just be gentle. Cool.
Lead with love. All right, you guys, with that in mind, tomorrow's workout will be led with love and Missy Elliott. And
I love it.
Thank you, Mel,
That's
for
my
chatting with
90s
us.
love song.
What'd you say?
My love language. I said that's my 90s love language.
Yes.
Yes.
Missy Elliott.
I love it. I listened to her yesterday when I was working out, and it got me going. I love it so much. Have a great workout. Thank you everyone for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been
Bye-bye.
great. Bye everyone.
Thanks, Melanie. Bye.